Friends, Jai Bhim. Good morning and namaskar to all of you there. It's been a while that we have talked, and this is particularly for my student friends. Hi guys, how are you doing? Doing well, I hope. Friends, I hope your studies and whatever you may be doing, you are doing well, I hope there, and I believe that you will excel in whatever pursuits you are fully engrossed yourself in. Friends, we are doing all this because we want to achieve something. But when it comes to achievement, the definitions and the significance and various aspects pertaining to achievement may differ. It may vary according to the countries, depending upon the values, social values, culture, and the background in which you have been brought up. Friends, when it comes to India, we find that the achievement may have the definition of getting a good job in private sector, a good job of high package, a good government service. Maybe you have done very good thing in the eyes of the society. You have done something very good. You have become something. You have become a millionaire. You have become a politician or whatever. It is significant that you become and you achieve something as per the definition that we do have in India. Here in the US, if you have innovated something new, you have written a very good thesis, you have a good and best-selling book across the world, that is generally considered as the achievement. You have innovated something, you have discovered something, and you have discovered a new knowledge, you have invented a new knowledge. That is also considered a very good achievement in the US. I think when it comes to the chief architect of the Constitution of India, Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, he has gone beyond this definition of the achievement. If you go through the various and diverse writings of Dr. Babasaheb Ambedkar, you will find that the definition that he gives of achievement is quite different and quite innovative. He goes beyond all these definitions that we generally see around us. He adds value, what is known as seal, to the very definition of achievement. For him, achievement is that changes something in the society. For him, achievement is something that brings positive and constructive changes in the society. For him, achievement is something that brings prosperity, enlightenment, and progress in the lives of the society. For him, the achievement is something that makes the people around you independent by virtue of your own efforts. That is what he calls achievement. That is what I have got from his writing and his speeches. I think this is the very definition that gives you satisfaction in the life. You may become something, you may achieve something, but what does matter is, after all, what you have given to the society, what kind of a changes you have brought in the society. See, my friends, always generally in our Indian context, when you go for some high post, you have become something, you have become officer or something, the people expect so much from you, and that is okay. There is no denying the fact about that. There are no issues also in expecting something from a person who has become something. No issues about that. But that is not all. We have to go beyond that. We have to understand, apart from whatever contribution he may give, what kind of a changes he is up to, what kind of a changes he can bring in the society, what kind of efforts he can make to make the other people independent. This is what we have to understand when we study. You may be preparing for any examination, you may be preparing for any pursuit for that matter, but it is more important to understand because we do have a social obligation, and that's why it is imperative on our part to understand the wider context of the very definition of achievement. My friends, it is very important to understand that what kind of a society we are living in. We see that there are countries, there are societies which have got progressed, they have developed, they have become developed countries, and generally we look towards European and American countries, especially the Europe and the United States for that matter. But just pause, stop, and just think as to what kind of a people they are whom we consider developed, what they have done, what has been their thinking, what kind of a thinking they have generated. The most important that I consider is they have got what they call as a challenging the status quo, challenging the very reasoning, challenging the status quo that is present in the society. Whatever you are doing, whatever you might be pursuing, just have a stop and think whether these are reasonable, these are scientific, whether whatever you are doing or whatever you are pursuing in terms of devoting your energy, devoting your time, devoting your amount or money or any kind of resources, try to understand whether these are reasonable, rational, and whether they can be subjected to the scientific temperament. This is what the parameter we should understand of the progress. We have to understand these things. These are very particular things. And when we study, we may have degrees. No issues about that. We may have degrees, we may have PhD, we may have postgraduate degrees. But what is the use of those degrees if we don't have the scientific temperament attached to them? What is the use of the degree if we are not in a position to make reasoning and challenge the very status quo that is there in the society? And that's why it is very pertinent to introspect and think what kind of personalities we are converting ourselves into. My friends, it is very important to make efforts, all our efforts for our progress. The situation that we are finding in our society is all there to see. There is nothing to be, I should say something about. It is all clear to you. And that's why ours, we do have the challenges, and that challenges can only be tackled by virtue of our hard work, by virtue of our passion, by virtue of our commitment. My friends, you are the future of our society. You are the future of your family, of your background, of your society, and of country. So whatever you are doing, do with some commitment. Have your targets. Target-oriented studies, target-oriented pursuits definitely will bring about excellence. I think much of a bhasan has already been done there, but despite being addressed as a bhasan, maybe there may be some content, maybe may be some elements which may be of some use to you. I find that in future we will also have contact and be in touch with me. There are friends who send me the messages. They ask, they raise queries about their careers. Some of the time I may not be in a position to give and do justice, suddenly and all of a sudden. And I may be not in a position to respond quickly, but be patient. I will be in a position to respond to the queries. Be frank, my friend, if you do have any queries with me. I believe that you will be doing very well. जय भीम, जय भारत।